Well, good morning. Welcome back to Linda's Pantry. And today, as you see, we're out and about seeing what kind of damage you guys did. Hey, Shotzi do. Oh, you good girl. Okay, so, and even though my garden is so far behind, like last year, by now, these two Heinz tomato plants would have been loaded with tomatoes. They are just starting to flower up here at the top. They're not in good shape. I've fertilized, I've done everything. So that's telling me, and even my green beans back there, they aren't anything like what they usually are. So that's telling me that next year we're gonna dig out most of this garden bed and rehab it with rich organic compost. And the rhubarb seems to be doing okay, and so does the parsley, but I usually have green beans all the way to the top. So, oh well, live and learn. And this is all a learning process, this little bit of homesteading and gardening that we do. And this, like this tomato plant, nothing. The dogs knocked over my pot with the carrots, and so I lost a few baby carrots in the process. I trimmed back all the sage, the seed and everything, and so now I've got healthy sage. I'm going to pick that and dry that for use over the next year. The green beans over here are doing really good. I'm picking, they're still flowering. If you can see in there, little babies and flowers right there. I've got to pick any plants. I will say I pulled a plant out of here because it wasn't producing, and this one here looks like it needs to go too. So wait till you see. The chickens love these. So I'm inspecting this plant. Ooh, look at Shotzi, I got you a green bean. You want that? Okay. This plant, it's got a couple little ones, so maybe I will leave it. But if it didn't have anything going on, you might as well pull it, because like this one here, let the other plants have the glory. This one has nothing on it, so I'm going to pull it. The root system's pretty shallow. Let's go give it to the chickens. You want to? So, let's see. Since I've been out here, it's been a couple weeks for you guys. Ragnar, what are you doing? What are you doing? I gave them one already this morning, and they like the green. Hi, girls. Hi, girlies. Hi, Milas. Want one of those? So by the end of today, they'll have picked those leaves off of there and cleaned that right up. I've already been in and fed them, so. This spigot, I've got the water on the raspberries, so I guess we'll start out here before I get to picking. Okay, so this bed is doing really good. The onions are all doing good. They won't get as big as, let's say, the onions I put in the spring, and neither will the carrots. But the carrots, I can cover this with straw and pick them all winter. So that's the beauty of this. Now, out of 12 asparagus plants or roots that I put in here, only one of them has popped through right here. So we will transplant, when we pick all these onions, we'll transplant the ones that are in the pots. So let's see, my pear tree still has a couple pears on it. Right down here we've got one, and over here, and there are two different kinds. This is a grafted tree, so we've had some really bad wind, and as you can see, there's tumbleweeds or weeds over there blown in from the neighbor's yard. So we got to clean that up. I still have not planted anything in here, and I've decided that to keep the dogs, kind of get them out of the habit of being in here, and using this as a pathway. Next year it will be tomatoes, so it'll be tomato cages, and it'll kind of block their path like that. Strut, get out of there. Come on, get out. So I don't know how my garlic's gonna do in there, but I think it should be fine. Apple trees, this one has an apple, but it's half eaten. This tree over here, it still has an apple on it. It's lost a couple because of the wind, so it kind of stinks. Okay, let's go see what's on over here. And I hope I'm at the right angle for you guys. It should be. Okay, so this one, I'm super excited. I've got kale right here, this first row. And over here, I believe that is broccoli rabe. So I've got 3 little rows of broccoli rabe, and I'll get in here and thin it out. What needs to be thinned, like that needs to go. Save that. Also, the chickens, they'll eat it. So thin out your broccoli rabe, and I love this garden, this raised bed. It's just so wonderful not to have to really bend over and hurt your back. And onions around the perimeter. This is a red lettuce, and it's a winter lettuce, so it's going to do well. And as you can see, footprints on the top of this. Oh goodness. Okay, so I just noticed that. So lettuces, and then we've got cabbage that got stepped on here. Cabbage is here, and kohlrabi, and I believe this is the kohlrabi here. So yeah, that's why the dogs kind of have to be in the kennel during the day, because they just run through everything. I have been picking on these raspberries every day. I get about 2 cups of raspberries, and then probably a cup that I eat. So this evening I'll come back out here and get whatever is turned completely ripe. They're absolutely delicious, but then I take them in the house, wash them really fast, and freeze them. And the dogs are in the other garden. As I was saying, I got interrupted with the dogs in my garden. I'll show you what they've done in there. And they've been in here too, but because the raspberry plants obviously have some thorns on them, they don't do too much damage because it's hard on their little noses. But a rabbit took up housekeeping in here and had babies, and so that's made them crazy. There's a little tunnel right over there. I don't know if you can see that, but look at these beautiful berries. Can you see them? Oh, I might have to have some breakfast right now. I mean, just gorgeous. And these are as tall as I am. These are fresh, just picked. I mean, we'll end up with a freezer full of berries. And I don't know about in your area, but in our area, a little 12-ounce package of raspberries is about $7. And I can't afford that. Now, a bird had that. I'll share that with the chickens as well. So, let's get over to the garden. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful. I'll give you a walk down here. Try to walk slow. Pretty amazing. And bees, oh my word. You want bees on your property? Plant raspberries. These raspberry plants are 3 years old right here. I planted them 3 years ago, bare root. And there was only 10 to begin with. And 10 on the other side 2 years ago. Or no, last year. So they're 2nd-year plants. Okay, so this is a look at the garden at the end of August here. And now this is what should be in that other Heinz variety. Look at these big, heavy tomatoes. This plant is covered with tomatoes. And these are great sauce tomatoes. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get enough tomatoes out of this to do enough canning for the year. So I'll be having to buy a bushel of tomatoes, or which is kind of sad. But anyways, let's look at this here. Now, we've got, here, Shotzi, you want these raspberries? Good girl. Okay, so here's healthy asparagus, right? We've got that. The birds are helping themselves a little bit to my Swiss chard over here, but over here they're leaving it alone. So, again, we've got green beans growing in pretty small spaces. I think I've already planned what I'm going to do in these pots next year, because look how well the mustard greens do in here. And that's just like 2 plants in here, and I picked that for us and the chickens quite often. The beans didn't do fantastic, but they are producing. So I think I'll fill these full of greens for salads and Swiss chard and all that. Because look at that beautiful Swiss chard. That's just beautiful. Gorgeous. Okay, rhubarb. Picking rhubarb probably tomorrow, maybe today. I've got a new recipe that I developed for a delicious jelly. What I was doing. Okay, so that's the cucumbers in here. Let's go in here and see what we got. I picked tomatoes yesterday, and I pick them when they're a little bit further along than these are. And then let them finish ripening in the house. Okay, it's kind of wet. Now, see, Sage has gotten in here and pushed all this stuff down because of critters. They get in here and make their home, and it makes my dogs crazy. Little volunteer tomato plant. Okay, this is a different variety of cucumber. Ooh, look, big, nice, slicing. That's plenty big. You guys, look at that pretty thing. Woo, I'll be having that with my lunch for sure. Okay, that's vining all the way over there. I'm trying to get it to trellis up this ladder, and it wants to, but look at the little baby cucumbers on there. We're gonna get a lot. But you can pickle slicing ones too. There's another one down here. Beautiful. Sliced pickles. I love to take slicing pickles and go ahead and put a little vinegar and water and just make like a quick pickle with the onions. Make sure there's none over here. Totally flowering. There's baby cucumbers all over this plant. So actually there's 2 plants here. So we're good there. Let's see about tomatoes. Got any? What we got going on in here? I see red. I'm seeing red. Ooh, pretty. Pretty. Okay. I see another one. Here we go. Well, that one's a little less than what I would have picked, but it's hard to tell. In here I could clip back some of these leaves so I could see better, but there's some tomatoes in there. Okay. And that's an early girl. These early girls have been my best producers so far. So I'm going to go over here, and we've got, this is a yellow tomato. And these beans have produced like crazy. I mean, nuts. And they're putting on again. So, onions in between, everything. Oh, this is a bean that needs to get picked so it doesn't go take to seed here. If you don't pick your beans, oh, look at that. Often enough, they'll think that it's time to go to seed and make seed pods. So you don't want to do that unless you're done with them, but I'm not done. Okay, now this is the plant that's in the pot. And look at that. Nice zucchini. Ah, that's cute. Okay, it needs fertilizing. It's not long lasting for these plants to do well in the pot. But in a bigger pot, this would do fantastic. Just keep up the fertilizing. Zucchini, and these big giant tomato plants, these are the beefsteak, or big boy, I don't remember what they call them. They're a big tomato. Okay. I can see everywhere the dogs have been. So frustrating. They work so hard, and then they come in here and destroy stuff. These tomatoes in here, you can see they're going to be sizable, but they're not ready, obviously. Oh, I see two more zucchini, 3 more right there. There's one over there. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a few over there. And by now, usually by this point in the game, I am overrun with zucchini and can't keep up. And that's not the case this year. So I want this one. Twist that off. That's a nice one. And then I'll let these kind of get going. And let's get that weed out of there. Onions along here. That was an early girl bush tomato. I'm not buying those again. And let's see. This is the yellow squash. These tomato plants are doing well, but they're all laying on the ground. They're too heavy to stake. And the beans that are in between, I'll just have to salvage what I can. I'm not going to take you along for picking all my green beans, but I'll get out here in a bit and pick what I need to. And, well, there's one that pulled, which they were all pole beans, but none of them acted like it. Okay, so that's my morning pick. I can make pickles. Oh, I can do all kinds of goodies this morning. And I might make zucchini bread because my husband loves that. But I want some carrots in there, so I'm going to pick a couple carrots right here. And if you guys want to see that recipe, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below and let me know if you'd like to see that, because, well, let's see. Here's one. Nice. And see, as I'm picking, I'm also thinning carrots out, so it gives room for the other guys to get busy. They're doing pretty good. It took forever. I didn't know that they were going to do anything, honestly, for quite a while. I was like, serious? No carrots for Linda. Oh, yeah. And maybe one more. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now, that's enough to grate up to go in my zucchini bread. And with that other one right there. And it's so good, you guys. It's a delicious zucchini bread. So hopefully you guys want to see the recipe. And there's my beautiful basket of stuff. So I'm going to take a few pictures. Let you guys go. I hope that this inspires you to get outside, be a little more self-reliant, and try your hand at gardening. It's one of the major steps of being a homesteader, whether you live in an apartment or you live on a giant piece of property. You need to learn to grow some of your own food and become more self-sufficient. And then the second step is you've got to be able to preserve it, somehow make use of that. And if you can't consume it all right away, then you want to be able to put it away for the winter and get you through till the next year. So that's what we do. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.